hubby for food. Genesis 1:29. Man did eat angels' food. He sent them meat to the full. Psalm 78:25. Everyday Manna with Lisa.
Hi everybody, and welcome to Everyday Manna. Today we are going to make some salads. I love salad and I love fruit. If you've watched this program at all, you know I'm a big proponent of getting more fruit in your diet. So today we're going to do a couple of recipes with a fruit base, and then we're going to do a classic homemade Caesar salad that is delicious. So stay tuned for that. But we're going to get started first on a fruit salsa, and then we're going to serve that alongside some baked cinnamon chips that we're going to make ourselves, and that's where we're going to get started. I have my oven preheated to 400 degrees, and I have 2 baking sheets that I have sprayed with a non-stick baking spray. Now, if you don't have the non-stick baking spray, you can just use the regular spray that doesn't have the powder in it. That's fine too. Or you can use just a little bit of melted butter on there, whatever you need to do. I have 10 flour tortillas. Now, make sure that you do not get the corn tortillas, that you do get the flour tortillas. And I have some melted butter in this pan, and all I'm gonna do is I'm going to brush each one with some melted butter. And then I'm just gonna stack the other one. You know what I'm gonna do first? Let's just do this. Let's do this the easy way. We're gonna make our little topping first, and then we'll do it all in one whack. I've got some sugar here, about, I don't know, 2-3 teaspoons, something like that. And some cinnamon, again, 2-3 teaspoons. And some nutmeg, and I always use a fresh little nutmeg. I have used this nutmeg for a long time, and I just keep it, and it's very good, and you just keep it in a little Ziploc baggie and pull it out when you need it. It'll keep for years if you need it that long. Nothing like fresh grated nutmeg. Just use your microplane grater. About a 1/4 of a teaspoon or so. That's kind of a strong fragrance and taste, nutmeg is, so don't use too much or it'll overpower. I like cinnamon, so I do use quite a bit of cinnamon in my cinnamon sugar mixture. And I'll tell you, this is a good thing to make ahead and keep in a little sprinkle jar or in something near your toaster for your morning toast, because this is delicious sprinkled over some buttered toast. That's not what we're gonna do today, but I do have it at home for that sole purpose. Brush a tortilla with some melted butter and then sprinkle this mixture all over it. And you can use your brush to kind of, take it out more out to the edges a little bit. It's really good. My Austin, my oldest child, loves cinnamon toast. And so we make toast, whole wheat bread toast, and then sprinkle a cinnamon sugar on it, and he just loves that. That's one of his favorite breakfast items. So just keep doing this, and I'm gonna show you why we're doing it all at once. You can put as little or as much on this as you like. Now, I do want to mention, if you maybe are diabetic and you need to watch your sugar intake, you by all means could use a sugar substitute in this. No longer than these chips are going to be in the oven. And they do make a sugar substitute blend that is strictly for baking. And you by all means, a brown sugar mixture, you could use that if you wanted to. So feel free, if you need to substitute a sugar substitute, you can do that. Feel free to do that. It would be just as good. So we're just going to keep buttering these tortillas up, and sprinkling them with the cinnamon sugar is all we're going to do. Now, we've got our stack completed with our flour tortillas. Each one is just buttered and sprinkled with that cinnamon sugar. Then leave them stacked up because it makes it easier. You could do them one at a time, or you could just do like I do and get your stack ready. And then you want to cut them into chips. And you could, you really could just do them any size that you like. But usually what I do is cut them in half, and then cut them in half again into quarters, and then cut each quarter into 2 pieces. So you end up with 8 chips per tortilla. And remember to preheat your oven and then lay them out on your baking sheet. This is where your geometry skills can come in. This is the easiest way I have found, honestly. I just lay them like this, and then so that they all fit. And then I just lay the ones in between like a big puzzle, and it works out beautifully. You see how we're alternating? And then you just lay them out, and you're gonna bake these in a preheated oven, and you probably, you know, you might need to do 2 batches, and that's okay if you do. And then you can just, we're gonna flip them over. They bake for about 6 minutes on each side, or until they're just crisp. You know, oven temperatures are different. My oven may be hotter than yours, and so it might, you know, might take yours a little less time. It's just an individual thing. Just fit them on there the best you can. However, you can get as many as you can get on there. This would be a great, for you math teachers out there, this would be a great geometry lesson for your kids. I'm a math person, so I think that way. Can't help it. Now we're just gonna lay these out and get them in the oven. This is a delicious little dish that you could serve with anything. You could make these chips and you could serve it with an apple dip, you know, in the fall when the apples, and you think applesauce and apple butter. This would be delicious served with a dab of apple butter on there, homemade apple butter, and a slice of good crisp apple, or maybe a, you know, a diced up apple and pear mixture spiced up would be wonderful with this. But, you know, we're gonna do it with some fresh fruit. So let's get this on here and get them in the oven. Again, the oven is 400 degrees, and we're just gonna bake these, and I think I'm gonna end up having to do a 3rd tray, so that's okay. We're gonna bake them for about 4 to 6 minutes on each side until they're crisp. And then we'll take them out, let them cool, and we'll make a beautiful fruit salsa to go with them. I'm gonna take a quick break. I'm just gonna get these in the oven, and when I come back, we will start on the fruit salsa. I'll be back in just a second. Hi, and welcome back. Now our chips are in the oven, so we've got my timer going, so it'll remind me in just a minute to get those out of there. But we're gonna make the salsa that we're gonna scoop up with the chips. And we're gonna start with some peaches. Now the peaches at the grocery store this morning were hard and just did not, you know, you want really ripe, good, juicy, drip down your chin peaches. If they're not that way, feel free to use canned, which is what I'm using today. I actually like canned peaches very much. And you want to kind of, you know, dice it into bite-sized pieces. I'm just using some sliced peaches that I'm going to cut. And here's where you really can use, let me get my little scooper, you can use your imagination of what you like, whatever kind of fruit that your family likes. You're going to be using a little lemon juice in here, so if you wanted to use bananas or apples, you could, because that'll keep it from turning brown. I'm just using a little paring knife, and I've just got a few little diced peaches here. The quantities, you know, this is not an exact science recipe. This is one of those things you use as much as you like of one ingredient, and if I'm using something you don't like, feel free to leave it out and put another kind of fruit in there that you do like. But I happen to adore peaches. There's one thing that screams summer to me, and that is one of those peaches that is ripe and that you can buy, that when you bite into it, it literally drips down your chin. That's one of my favorite flavors ever. I had some a few weeks ago that were just delicious, but didn't have them today. Oh, there's our timer. So we'll check our little crisps. All right, let's go this way. One of the best little tools you can have in your kitchen is a timer to help you with timing, because sometimes it's easy to forget how long you've got something in the oven, or you need to turn it over. So let's see how we are. I actually think they need a minute more. So let's leave these for just a couple more minutes until they start getting crisp, and then we'll flip them over and then bake the other side. So let's just continue with our fruit. Now, I've got some beautiful blueberries, which is a very healthy, one of the healthiest things you can eat because of the dark color. I've got some beautiful blueberries. Now, all this fruit has been washed. Put as much as you like in here. You want about a pound of fruit. My absolute most favorite fruit in the world, raspberries. Love them. Oh, those are good. Very good. And blackberries, and look at these beautiful, beautiful blackberries. Look how gorgeous they are. They're a little big, so let me just show you those beautiful blackberries. So let's cut them in half, because they are a little on the big side, which is great for presentation, but not so good to scoop. So if they are very big, go ahead and cut them in half. Again, I love berries of any kind. I don't think there's a berry out there that I don't like. That one's still got a little stem on it. And they're so good and so good for you. And one thing I've learned, when you make something in a pretty presentation and it's colorful, and you eat, I've said it before, and it is very true, you eat with your eyes first, in the sense of if something looks pretty to you, you are more likely to want to eat it. The same goes with your children. I'm constantly looking for ways to get my kids to eat a more variety of certain foods and things like that. So I find that if something is colorful, it's a little more appealing to them. Get them started early on eating things. Some of these aren't quite as big as the others. These are beautiful blackberries. Sometimes you can find seedless blackberries. Those are okay. Let's just put those in there. Then another fruit that I'm going to use today is kiwi. I bet many of you might have seen this in the store, in the grocery store, and you're like, what in the world is that fuzzy brown looking thing? That's a kiwi. They started out in New Zealand. It's where they originally came from. And look at that inside. It's green, it's beautiful. And I just peel off. Now the outer rind is not edible, so I just peel off that green outer rind. It's a gorgeous fruit. I love kiwi. It's very healthy. All this stuff is very healthy. Fruit is good and good for you. I've got 2 kiwis. I'm going to cut it in half, and then I'm going to cut little moons, little half moons. Actually, I think I'm going to cut it in quarters. And then I'm going to slice it just like that. Now look how pretty that is on the inside. And it's just going to be addition to our red and our black and our yellow. We're going to eat the rainbow. As they say, eat the rainbow and you're healthy. If you eat foods of a different color, lots of different colors. Let's just peel this over. I've got a garbage can over here, so let's just peel this over the garbage pail. But I'm a big fruit eater. You could add bananas to this. You could add pineapple. You could add apples. You could add pears. You could add anything you want to your food. It's your recipe. I'm just showing you a technique here. You make it your own. You could use all canned fruit in this, or frozen fruit if you wanted to. Maybe berries aren't in season and you wanted to use frozen vegetables, that would be fine too. Anything you like that your family will eat. Because sometimes fruit tends to be a little tart. We're going to add a little bit of sugar or sugar substitute. It's up to you, whatever you like. About 3 teaspoons or so. Then we're going to add the zest of a lemon. Take a lemon and roll it across your board like that first, because that loosens up the juice. I'm going to zest it over my bowl. I love this zester. This is my favorite one. I have lots of different zesters with different size grater attached, or little grating holes on there, but this is my favorite. I've had it forever, and I just love it. Do you know that the zester started out as a wood rasp in a woodworking shed. It actually started out as a woodworking tool. And then someone, I don't know who, but someone thought, that looks like a great tool for the kitchen. And it became a kitchen tool too, and it's wonderful and very, very useful. Now I'm gonna place this little strainer just right down in my bowl because I want to catch those seeds, and I'm just gonna squeeze the juice out of this lemon. And if you wanted to add a little honey, you could add a little bit of honey to it, would be wonderful. I really like honey. And sometimes I do put a little honey in there. I'm not gonna do that today because I'm gonna put it in another recipe, but if you wanted to add a little honey, you could, would be delicious. And that's it for your salsa. One thing I will add, this one's a total optional ingredient, but I think a little pinch of salt, excuse me, adds just a little bit of something to it, and it brings out the natural flavors in the fruit. Now look at this, how pretty of a dish this ends up being. That is gorgeous. And on a hot summer day or a beautiful brunch on Sunday or any time, day or night, and that will keep for a few days in your refrigerator so you can make that ahead. I'm gonna take another quick break. I'm gonna flip our chips, and when I come back, we're gonna make a homemade Caesar salad. I'll be back in just a second.
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation and each other. They still do. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hi, and welcome back. Now here is our beautiful salsa with our chips, our wonderful little chips that I have to tell you, they're addictive. Those things are so good, and it just, I could eat that right there and be happy and make a meal out of that. That would be a fabulous, fabulous breakfast in the mornings. And you talk about getting your day started off right with all that beautiful fruit and the flour tortilla like that would be a great breakfast. Now, we're gonna make a Caesar salad, and I like, just to buy the heads of romaine like this and wash them and then just cut it up myself for my Caesar salads. I just love romaine lettuce. It's got a good crunch to it, and it's very good for you. And Caesar is traditionally made with romaine lettuce, so we're gonna stick with the tradition here. And we're gonna make our own homemade dressing. Now, normally, a Caesar salad dressing has anchovies and raw eggs in it, and I'm just not a fan of anchovies. So feel free, if you want to put a finely chopped up anchovy in your dressing, go right ahead. And I just find that the egg is not necessary because we're going to use mayonnaise. So I'm going to use, about, I don't know, 1/4 of a cup or so of mayonnaise, depending on how much dressing you want to make. Some garlic, because it has garlic in it. Caesar salad has garlic. If I can get my jar open, I'm going to use my hands are wet, the pre-minced up garlic. Well, there we go. About a teaspoon or so of just garlic, a couple of cloves, or, about the equivalent of the pre-chopped stuff. And sometimes I just like to just buy that and use it. Worcestershire sauce, Shake it up a little bit, couple of teaspoons or so. That's a traditional flavor in Caesar salad dressing. And then some lemon, some salt and pepper, about a teaspoon or so of salt, and some pepper. And then lemon zest and lemon juice. If you don't want to put the zest in there, you don't have to. Matter of fact, I don't think I will today. I think I'll just use the juice. Need my little strainer. Where did I put my little strainer? Huh, I've lost it. Oh well. We'll find another one. Okay, well, we'll squeeze it over my hands to keep the seeds out. Lost my little strainer in here. So I don't think this one has any seeds in it. I think this is a lemon with no seeds. That's odd. So we'll use our reamer. I love this little wooden reamer. About 2 teaspoons or so of lemon juice. You know, lemon juice, fresh lemon is one of those things that brightens your food tremendously. A little fresh lemon juice, there's one. Saw one down in there. A little fresh lemon juice in your food really goes a long way. And then stir that up with either a spoon or a whisk. I'm gonna switch to a whisk. And that's it for a Caesar salad dressing. I don't like to dress my salads until I'm ready to serve them. So I would put this in a pretty little bowl and put it beside the salad, because I think that really adds something. You know, a lot of times if you dress your salads before you're ready to serve, it causes it to wilt. Another traditional component of Caesar salad is Parmesan cheese. This is one of those times I would just get a block. You don't have to get the $20 a pound block of cheese. Use a grater, I mean not a grater, but a peeler, a vegetable peeler, and make these long, beautiful curls. You can break them in half if you want to, and place them on top of your salad. And then when you dress it, it all just goes together. This is my favorite cheese. Anything that I can put Parmesan cheese on it, I want to do it. I love it. Absolutely love it. And there you go. There is a traditional Caesar salad. Takes minutes to make, and there you go. And you've got a wonderful, wonderful salad for your family and for your friends. Now, we're going to make another salad that is another fruit salsa type base with salad greens. So I'm just going to use just the baby mixed pre-washed salad mix, and I'm going to put some of this on a plate. You could use any kind of salad mix. This is just baby greens because it has a mixture of different textures and different flavors in there. This is what we're doing today. We're doing all salads today. Here's where you can use your whatever you like kind of thing. I'm going to use some pineapple and some strawberries and some peaches for different flavors. And then we'll make our dressing, and I'll show you how to make the dressing real quick. It's very easy. About a cup of plain yogurt, Greek yogurt, or vanilla flavored yogurt, and this happens to be the vanilla flavored. A little bit of poppy seed, about, I don't know, a teaspoon or so, tablespoon or so of poppy seeds, which goes great in fruit salads. Oh, I forgot my croutons. Got to put some croutons. Well, you could put just some croutons on your Caesar salad. A lemon juice and zest if you would like. Just squeeze it, keeping the seeds out. Love lemon. Use a lot of lemons. A lot. I like 2 lemons in this. You could also zest it if you wanted to. Just a quick little dressing for some fruit. Couple of lemons. Good workout for your hands. You know, your hands really do catch the seeds if you do that. All right, now, for the dressing, one more thing, and that's a little honey, which I think is good in anything. I eat a teaspoon of honey every day, just out of a spoon. good and it's good for you. A lot of natural raw honeys that you can buy locally are so full of antioxidants. And there's a good little basic dressing for your fruit salad, fruit salsa that we're gonna make. So what we're gonna do, set this aside for just a second, let's add just a pinch of sugar, I keep wanting to say sugar, salt, because it brings out the flavors. I know that sounds weird, but it's just very, very true. So we're gonna take just some canned peaches and some strawberries, because the strawberries looked scrumptious. If you don't like strawberries, leave them out. I find some people are actually allergic to strawberries. So if that's one of those things you cannot eat them, you don't have to eat them. And some pineapple. So I'm gonna cut this fruit up. All I'm gonna do is just cut up some strawberries and some pineapple, and then I'll show you how to serve this beautiful salad. Now here is our beautiful little salad green and our fruit salsa, or not, kind of a fruit mixture that we made up. I went ahead and added some blueberries because I had some left over. So you use whatever kind of fruit you have. You want to top your salad greens with this beautiful mixture of fruit. So good. And colorful and beautiful. And then your wonderful little dressing that you made up with the poppy seeds and the honey and the Greek yogurt. And just top that with a little bit. I don't overdress my salads. I'm not one to drown my salad in dressing because I think that takes away from the texture and the flavors of the salad. So here you go. Here are 3 beautiful salads that you could make for your family. We've got our fruit salsa with our wonderful little cinnamon chips. And here is how I would serve the Caesar salad. Put some of your salad on a plate, the little pieces of Parmesan cheese, and some